Now what we look at the selected framework for central banks for managing monetary policy as a function of inflation. We'll not go very deep into it. We look at Taylor's rule, this very famous rule. It basically gives you, when we talk about nominal Fed rates, real Fed rates would be nominal Fed rates minus inflation. You're looking at rates, it looks at 2 plus 0.5, which is inflation minus 2. So it looks at inflation as one part and GDP gap as another part. There are various ways to calculate it. And one way is to, whenever you're looking at inflation, you look at gross domestic implicit price deflator. So that is the variable which you should be looking at. And when you're looking at GDP gap, one of the ways is to look at real GDP minus the real potential GDP, which is, you say, the natural level of growth by real potential GDP into 100. This is how it's being calculated. I've used it. You could use the data. You can also get the data from the Fed. These two graphs. Now, when I plotted these two graphs, you get a fair bit of idea where the interest rates should be according to the Taylor's rule and where it is right now. Mankiw, like I talked about, the economist Mankiw, who's come out on rule. He said that the Fed's fund rate is equal to 8.5 plus 1.4 into core inflation minus unemployment rate. The only thing is that the data for core inflation and employment is seasonally adjusted. Both are monthly rates. The Fed effective fund rates was not seasonally adjusted. And if you look at, it moves very close until we see this inflection point. According to the model, the rate should be much higher than what it is right now.
Got this data from United Kingdom. Now I've calculated standard deviation of CPI for preceding 40 quarters, how the volatility has come down. If you look at this graph, you can easily see that over a period of time, central banks have done a tremendous job in containing inflation. But then there is a catch. Is it because of their efforts or because there's more availability of data? Look at a lot of papers which have come out on this particular topic, and I leave the verdict with you.